Hi everyone, we're back to create the cover for our stacked hinge binding that we did in the previous video. So our chipboard pieces are going to be 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So you need two of those. That's 4.5 by 6.5. And we need a piece for the spine that's 4.5 by 3 inches. Okay, so just cut those, put those aside. So now we're going to do the outside covers, and you can get the outside covers out of one piece of 12 by 12. Now if it's directional paper like this one is, it's got text on the background, so I know that it's going to go that way on my cover. Okay, so I want the longest side to be cut there. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut it in half. So we only need the height to be 6 inches. Okay, the height's going to be 6 inches and the width is going to be 8 7/8. Okay, so 8 7/8 one piece, and from the other piece we want, and I think I'll use this side. Yep, so 8 7/8 by 6 inches, both pieces. Okay, that's for your outside cover. So what we do now, okay, so I want it to go that way. Do I? Okay, so over there and over there. So turn them over. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to join those together so that we can make this work easier for us. So just abut them and then take your score tape and place it all along on the centre line, the join line there, so that it actually sticks together. Okay. Let me just bring that in so you can see where that score tape is to join both sides, both pieces. Now, these measurements make it so that there's three quarters of an inch around the perimeter of this piece. Okay, all the way around is even 3/4 of an inch. So what I then do to place my chipboard down, let's put our score tape on first. I'm going to put the score tape all around the perimeter of each piece of chipboard. So your front and back cover and your spine. And I like to put the score tape around the edges because I know I can get that right up on that edge as opposed to the ATG. You can't always get it right on that edge. This gives it a good stick. Okay, now the spine section. Okay, let's reinforce, finish that tape well and good onto the chipboard so it adheres. Alright, now the first piece we're going to position is our spine. So let's make sure I've got, okay, so that's going to be my front cover, so I want it this way. Alright, remove your tape back in there Now, this score tape is great for, it's going to help you in positioning your spine piece. So, and your Timmy ruler. Okay, so what I do is I position the 0 mark there on the join of those two pieces of paper, and align the ruler to the 3/4 inch mark. So it's the this mark here, the 3/4 mark along. Okay, so the 0 is at the join of the paper and lining up that 3/4 inch to the edge of the outside edge of the paper. Now, that score tape will help that ruler stick there so that we can then butt up the spine piece to the ruler and we'll have it straight, or we should have, in theory. Alright, I'm going to put some ATG tape on here now, just where I hadn't covered it, and it's playing up. Okay. Alright, let's stick this down now. That's moved, so there we go. So, we know this is 3 inches. We're going to position it on here so it's even both sides. So it's 1.5 inches either side of that 0. So at the, well, on your ruler it's got 4.5 here and 7.5 there. So just push that up, making sure that that ruler doesn't move on the edge, and stick it down. Okay, so you take that ruler off now, it's well and truly stuck. There we go. And there's our spine piece adhered. Now we want to position our covers, front and back. So again, just remove the score tape backing. My goodness, that's stuck down well. And then go ahead and put either wet glue or your ATG tape, cover it, the rest there, and stick it down. Again, take your ruler. I probably shouldn't have taken it off because I like to use it to get a straight edge. Okay, so I'm actually going to position it about 1/8 of an inch away from that spine piece there, and that's where your ruler will come in handy too. Let's do the next cover, the back cover, the same. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done the Tyvek. That's what I wanted to do here. Sheesh, what am I going to do? Well, we'll have to... I really wanted to put the Tyvek between the outside covers and the chipboard because that's where it gets more of the tension, the opening and closing of it on the outer side. So I'm not going to get that up, am I, without wrecking that paper. Darn. I'm going to try though. Wow, how was that, eh? All right. Okay. I'm going to have to put some more. We're going to have to cover this again with the score tape. Sorry about that, people. Okay, Tyvek comes in many forms, one of which in the US you get free, which is your priority mail envelopes. We can buy the envelopes here plain white. So either way, it's Tyvek. We're going to cut this to 6 inches by 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to cut it at 4.5 inches first, just under that 4.5 inches, shy of it, by the 6 inches. Now 6 inches because we want it to go across, cover the covers, go to the sides of the covers at least 1.5 inches, okay? And the spine's 3 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the Tyvek, and I think, well, there's a smooth side and a rough side, so I'm going to adhere it to the rough side, I guess. I'm going to put some score tape all around the perimeter of that Tyvek piece. Now we're going to adhere our spine section to the centre of the Tyvek piece. So remove your tape backing, add some more tape. Right, now we need to remove the tape backing from the Tyvek piece. And just remove the top and bottom at this stage. And I want to just grab the Timmy ruler and centre that so it'll be on the 3-inch side, 3-inch marks of the ruler, both sides of the 0, okay? And so then we want to position our, slippery, want to centre our piece on that Tyvek. Okay, right about there. I just want to try and get, I want to get it straight. Alright, it'll roughly do it, so roughly know where it is now and just get it on that edge. Okay, so eyeball it. Eyeball it. Okay, there we go. Done. Alright. That's on. Now we're going to adhere our covers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what? No, leave it like that. Grab one of our covers, remove the tape backing, and what I'm going to do, I think, is I do it this way, okay? No, can't do it that way. I want to get it 1/8 of an inch away from the, I'm just eyeballing it. There, like, oh, that's, yep, okay, so just like that. And then the other side. And putting it down about, or just eyeballing it, about 1/8 of an inch gap there. Okay. All right. So that then is our outside. Okay, that's our inside, that's our outside. Okay, now we need to do our paper. Okay. So let's now put some Tyvek, put some score tape around our Tyvek. And I want to position it on the edges of the Tyvek, of the spine, sorry, of the chipboard. All chipboard pieces there. I just want to make sure there is score tape on the edges of the chipboard, all pieces. Okay. And I've got no tape on there now, so we need to apply some tape to the top and bottom of our Tyvek, or chipboard, the spine piece there. Okay. Also want to put some score tape on the edge of that Tyvek there. And yes, it should have been there too. Okay, there, and there. My goodness. All right. Now, the reason I do not continue that tape right along there is because I believe that if the tape was there, it would impede the movement of the paper and the where the covers meet the spine there like that. I think once the paper gets covered, or the chipboard gets covered, I think that would impede the movement of the whole album and cause the paper to split. Okay, I'm going to take my pokey tool and remove the backing, tape backing there. Now I think ATG tape should be okay in the, no, you know what, it needs score tape all over it. It really does. Just to be sure you've got that good stick. So I'm just going to put another 2 pieces in here. You don't want your spine, your covers coming off. You don't want your covers ripping. So, hence the overuse of the score tape. Reinforce that. I'm so sorry, I've confused you all again, I bet you. Oh. Alright, remove that. You know, I have done this video, I think this is the 4th time, and you know, I can't do it a 5th time, I'm afraid. We're just going to have to leave it like this. And if you're confused, maybe I'll do a Ustream on it. Alright, it's done, it's ready. Let's put some more tape, because this is going down onto the covers. Okay. Here's our covers. Now I want to make sure I've got the paper up the right way. And I'm going to eyeball it this time. Okay, so we want it about there will do. It's down. All right. All right, that was a mission and a half. Let's miter our corners. Just take your Timmy ruler, your craft knife, and if I could find mine, I'd use it. Where it should be. Okay. Now, your first dashed line is your 1/8 inch mark. So just position that on the corner of your chipboard. Let's see if you can see this. Okay, so it's just at that first dotted line. Your first solid line is your 1/4 inch mark. In between that you've got a dotted line, and that's your 1/8 inch mark. And then we're just going to slice her away. And we'll do that to all 4 corners. Now what we want to do is put score tape again all around the perimeter of each piece. So I'm going to slice it off there. Oh, sorry. I'm going to slice it off there at the edge. I'm not going to continue it all along, again, because I think it puts stress on the paper and will eventually cause it to rip. So just like that. The opposite side. Then the ends. Each end of each piece of chipboard. Now we shall put it all along the outer edge of that designer paper. Tip that Gentle Jim, Gentleman Crafter, cut your score tape on that angle. Then it's ready for the opposite side, already angled. Like that. Now we want to train those folds on the edges. Just getting the creases ready. Now we can remove the score tape backing from one of the longer edges from both the paper and the chipboard. Now I just want to bring this tape backing. I'm going to remove it. Oh, I'll stick it on too well. Fighting with me now. Okay, let's cut that off. What I'm trying to do. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's try again. Remove the tape backing, just bringing it down and folding it over so that the paper doesn't stick over it, because then when we go to remove this down the track, it's going to want to try and rip that paper by pulling it up. Okay. Grab your bone folder and just run it along, pushing up that paper there. Now, grab it in the centre and pull it. Push it down. From the centre out. Okay, push down your covers there. Reinforce it. And then do the opposite side.